Welcome back to SourceFED. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Joe Beretta.
Those of you who are unaware of the tragic ongoing situation in Ferguson, Missouri were likely surprised by a surge in online discussion last night under the hashtag Ferguson. Tensions between citizens and the Ferguson police force have been building for days, leading to a shocking standoff last night that has many decrying the police for excessive force in the face of public protest.
The situation began with the shooting death of Michael Brown, an unarmed African-American teenager who police say was shot several times this past Saturday in an altercation with an officer. County Police Chief John Belmer said that the officer in question came upon Brown and his friend Dorian Johnson outside of an apartment complex. Police claim that Brown struggled with the officer, pushing him into his police car and trying to grab his gun. At least one shot was fired inside the car, at which point Brown ran from the officer, who shot him from a distance of about 35 feet.
However, Dorian Johnson and a second witness, Tiffany Mitchell, tell a very different story. Johnson says that the police officer approached them in his vehicle and told them to, quote, "get the f*** onto the sidewalk." He then tried to get out of his vehicle, but the door hit Brown and bounced closed, at which point the officer grabbed Brown through the window and began to choke him.
Those are called conflicting reports. Mitchell witnessed this from down the block and says that the first shot rang out from inside the car, at which point Brown turned and ran. The officer got out of his car and began firing at Brown, hitting him once in the back. He turned and put his hands up before being fatally shot multiple times and falling to the ground dead. The officer's name has yet to be disclosed by police.
Now, obviously, in a situation such as this, racial tensions are high. However, it's important to remember that whether or not the shooting of Michael Brown was racially motivated, an unarmed man was singled out and shot for seemingly doing nothing at all.
Peaceful protests gave way to riots Sunday night, leading to 32 arrests for assault, burglary, and theft, and several businesses were damaged and looted. Daniil Trout, 53, a 14-year resident of Ferguson, said that he was convinced that the troublemakers weren't Ferguson residents at all, but instead outsiders taking advantage of the unrest as an opportunity to steal. St. Louis County Executive Charlie Dooley reported that there had not been any injuries as of 11 p.m., but there were reports of assaults in the early morning, leading to the use of tear gas by police.
This brings us to the events of last night, where tensions escalated to the point where heavily armed SWAT teams swept the streets of Ferguson to keep the peace. We cannot determine who struck first, but there are several reports of protesters throwing bottles and lighting Molotov cocktails. Regardless of who started it, police then aggressively broke up the protest using tear gas and smoke bombs with stunning regularity against protesters and members of the press. A team of journalists from Al Jazeera were assaulted with tear gas, and after they fled, the police broke down their camera and sound equipment.
They're not supposed to do that. Two journalists, Ryan Riley of the Huffington Post and Wesley Lowery of the Washington Post, were arrested for reportedly not leaving the McDonald's they were working from quickly enough. St. Louis Alderman Antonio French was also arrested while trying to record the police actions from inside of his vehicle. He was pulled from inside the car, and when he asked why he was being arrested, he was told it was because, quote, "you didn't listen." All three men have since been released.
Online hacktivist group Anonymous threatened over the weekend to reveal the name of the officer responsible for Michael Brown's death. They released a name this morning, though St. Louis County Police have denied that it is in fact the correct officer.
In addition, the office of Missouri Governor Jay Nixon reported that he will arrive in Ferguson today. Congressman Lacey Clay told Bloomberg this morning that Nixon will announce that the St. Louis County Police will be taken off of the Michael Brown case. It's not yet clear who would replace them, and the St. Louis County Police have released a statement saying that they're unaware of any plans to be removed from said case.
Finally, President Obama spoke live from Martha's Vineyard early this afternoon about the unrest, urging Americans to take a step back and think about how we will be moving forward. He decried police brutality, saying there's no excuse for police to use excessive force against peaceful protests or to throw protesters in jail for lawfully exercising their First Amendment rights. He also announced that United States Attorney General Eric Holder will be looking into this case personally. We will update this story as it develops on SourceFED.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Matt Lieberman.
And I'm Joe Beretta. And before you go, please in the comments let us know how you feel about all the happenings over in Ferguson. And please, if you could, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the annotation for more news from SourceFED. Have a good day.
Thank you.